yesterday, my cousin got married. It's really kind of crazy because she's the first of us to have been married yet, and it was a really beautiful ceremony. And I haven't been to a Catholic wedding for 8 years, probably around 8 years, so it was very different for me. And it was very touching, especially having been immersed for so long in all the research that I was doing for my contraceptives project. I was thinking a lot about marriage and, conjugal love and the meaning of its place in society and stuff like that, so I was really paying attention. I really liked it. Right off the bat, the priest said, "We're here today to celebrate 2 sacraments. First, we are celebrating the sacrament of the Eucharist, and within the sacrament of the Eucharist, we are uniting in marriage Elizabeth and John." And so right off the bat, my mind went like all different directions, connecting relationship between the Eucharist and marriage and its right proportion with God and everything like that. Marriage is incredible. It's an amazing gift, as I've said before. It's the closest analogy that we have of the sacrificial and perfect union that we're going to have with Jesus when we get into heaven. However, the Eucharist is not simply an analogy. The Eucharist is like a taste of what we're going to have, because it actually is Jesus in union with us, just not in perfect union. So the Eucharist is definitely the greater sacrament that we're celebrating here. And that got me thinking about why you even unite into marriage. Ideally, the purpose of marriage is for you and your spouse to mutually help each other and bring each other to heaven. So you're both going to be feeding off each other's love for Jesus and growing more and more holy. So in a sense, you participate in the sacrament of marriage in order to grow closer to Jesus and share more fully in the sacrament of the Eucharist. That's why you're not just having a Mass in the middle of your wedding, you are being wedded in the middle of Mass. So being wedded helps you participate more in the Mass, which in turn prepares you more fully for your ultimate purpose as a spouse of Jesus Christ in heaven. So that'll happen like in a flash, in the first, 5 words that came out of the priest's mouth. And then the Mass continued on, they said their vows. It was very beautiful, but what was more beautiful for me was when they finally started the consecration. The priest was consecrating the host, and when he got to the "do this in remembrance of me," I wasn't thinking of that merely in terms of like the Last Supper, like he's telling his disciples to have the supper in remembrance of me, Mass. I was thinking of the whole sacrifice, all his entire life, Calvary, and the resurrection at the end. And I heard him saying that directly to Elizabeth and Sean. "Do this in remembrance of me." You need to imitate this perfect sacrificial love that I have shown for you. You need to imitate this for each other and for the rest of the world and for your children, hopefully. And then when they finally received communion for the first time as husband and wife, it was just... I thought of them being united and Jesus being united with them and them being united with Jesus and each other at the same time in this beautiful ball of love and goodness. And I was so happy to have been there and to be able to understand it in the way that I did, having gone through all of my research and stuff like that. It made me think a lot deeper about the ceremony and what was going on. So Elizabeth, Sean, I love you both very much, and I wish the best for you in your life together. Obviously, I'll be praying for you and probably everybody else who's watching this video. Say a prayer for them, please. Mr. and Mrs. Boyd, I will see you when you get back from Scotland. Goodbye!